Welcome back guys to another Clash Royale video, and today I have another Clan Royale episode where I show off some of the best replays from my fellow clan members. But before we get to that, let's quickly open up some of these chests here. We have a free chest to open up, giving us some gold, 3 musketeers, and the zap spell. The zap is almost able to be upgraded, so that'll be a huge upgrade for the current deck that I'm using. Let's go into this crown chest here. Quickly go through this, see if we get anything good. Nothing crazy there. And we have a golden chest here. What do we have? Bomb tower is able to be upgraded. That's pretty cool. Anyways, let's go to some of those replays, guys. Here we are with the first replay, guys. On the bottom, from my clan, we have Greek Freak, who is a level 7 facing a level 8 in this replay. On the top, we have Jarvis. Now, Greek is using that control deck that I featured in a previous video, guys. It's a pretty powerful deck. I was able to push all the way from 2,400 trophies all the way up to 2,850 trophies using that deck. So if you guys are having a hard time pushing trophies, I suggest you check out that video. The deck is just really strong for taking out higher level opponents. But right here, Jarvis is coming in with the slow giant push, which is an extremely deadly combo, guys, because the giant is so slow moving that your opponent is able to build up so much elixir and drop down so many supporting troops behind that giant. One way to counter the slow giant push, guys, is to do a counter push on the opposite lane and force them to spend elixir defending their other tower instead of backing up that giant. But right here, as we see, Greek did a pretty good job defending that giant. In fact, he dropped down some barbarians to take out that giant, and then he turned those barbarians into a counter push. Now he's going to go in with those barbs as well as a hog rider and do a pretty crazy amount of damage to that tower here. That one hog rider, guys, with the support of those barbarians, was able to go in there and take out that tower from full health all the way down to 1300 health. Now right here, Jarvis has a level 4 prince coming in here. Greek is going to distract it with some goblins. Now he does have that bomber supporting that prince, so Greek chose to use the minion horde to take out that entire push. Now Jarvis did have the arrows ready, but by the time they reached the minions, the prince and the bomber were already dead. So sometimes, guys, you have to let the prince get like 1 or 2 hits off on your tower and choose to use air troops to defend instead of the low health goblins, because like I said, he had that bomber supporting that prince. But right here, Greek's gonna go ahead and drop down one more elixir pump right in the middle there, which is gonna get that elixir flowing for later on in the battle, as well as help distract that giant when the giant makes his way up to the bridge here. Now right here, Greek is kind of full on elixir. He doesn't really want to drop any troops yet because he wants to prepare to defend that push, because he's trying to go in for that right hand tower. So he drops down some spear goblins. They just kind of go in there and get killed. Right now he's got a baby dragon in there. Now watch this, guys. Jarvis is going to try and be sneaky with the prince on the opposite side, but Greek fortunately has those barbarians ready to take it out, which is the perfect counter to the prince, guys. But on the right hand side, the giant is able to get past that elixir pump and do some pretty strong damage to that tower on the right hand side. But watch this, guys. Jarvis really overcommitted on that left hand side with the baby dragon and 2 sets of goblins, and Greek was able to defend that entire left hand push with 1 baby dragon and then use all the remaining elixir to go in on the right hand side and take out that tower, guys. That was an 8 elixir push by Jarvis on the left hand side, and Greek was able to defend it with only 4 elixir. Like I said, using that remaining elixir on the right hand side to take out that tower. And that's really important in this game, guys, is trying to be efficient with your elixir, trying to win elixir trades, and use that to go on a counter push and take out the tower. But anyways, guys, we have a 1 crown victory for Greek Freak. Let's go ahead and take a look at another replay. So here we are with the next replay. On the bottom, as blue, from my clan, we have Maha, who is a level 8 versus a level 9 in this replay. On the top, we have Davy J as red. Now, red is start here. Red's going to go in with the baby dragon way in the back there. Now, red has some pretty high level cards here. All of his epics are level 4 at least. And on the bottom here, blue is going to drop down the elixir pump way in the back there, which is a pretty interesting location. I prefer to drop it down right in the middle to help act as a distraction. But unfortunately, blue didn't have anything good to defend there with, so he was forced to use the fireball with the goblins as well as the zap spell to take him out. Now, overall, things aren't looking too good. Not a great start for blue. Now, watch this, guys. Red's going to go in with a bomber as well as a set of barbarians. Now, this is the perfect opportunity for the fireball, but of course, he used it just moments prior. But he's going to go ahead with the minion horde, and unfortunately for red, he doesn't have his arrows ready. But those barbarians will get in there and get a couple of hits off on that tower and do some pretty strong damage in the couple of seconds that they were in there. Now, watch this, guys. Blue's going to go in, and with that counter push, distract that Dark Prince, and then sneak a Hog Rider in there and get some pretty strong damage done to that tower, and that one lone minion, guys, will take out that Dark Prince. So overall, really strong counter push right there by Blue, and so things are looking a lot better at this point for Blue. He's going to go ahead and drop down another Electric Pump way in the back on the right hand side, and now Red's going to try to go in there with the level 4 Giant Skeleton. Now watch this, guys. Blue's going to go in on the left hand side with a strong counter push with the Baby Dragon as well as the Spirit Goblins, and watch this. Once that Giant Skeleton crosses the bridge, he drops down a set of Barbarians behind that Giant Skeleton, pulling him back, distracting him, and taking him out, preventing him from getting to the tower. So overall, pretty good, strong defense right there. Now once again, Blue's going to try and go in with that Hog Rider on the left-hand side. Now, Red doesn't have anything really to defend here. He's got to choose between using the arrows or the Barbarians. Now, that's a really strong tactic, guys, for using the Hog Rider, is the Hog Rider with the Minion Horde. Because as you can see, Red had his Barbarians ready to take out that Hog Rider, but as soon as Blue dropped down the Minion Horde with it, Red was forced to choose to use the arrows to defend, allowing the Hog Rider to go in there and get some damage done to that tower. But watch this, guys. That Bomber is in there, getting 2 hits off on that tower, bringing it all the way down to 200 health, and forcing Blue to use the Fireball to take it out and prevent any further damage to his tower. Now right here, Minion Horde was used to take out that Ice Wizard, but of course, Red has the arrows ready. Now watch this. Hog Rider is going to go in there and finish off that tower. Now Red did drop the Barbarians, but he dropped them slightly off-center, guys. If you guys are using the Barbs to counter the Hog Rider, you have to drop them directly in its path, because they will block the Hog Rider, and the Hog Rider will try and run through them, allowing the Barbs to kill them before they reach the tower. But as you can see right there, the Hog Rider ran around the Barbarians and took out that tower. Now watch this, guys. Blue's tower is all the way down to 20 health, and for some reason, Red chooses not to use the arrows to take it out, giving Blue the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead, guys, and take a look at another replay. So here we are with the final replay, guys. On the bottom, from my clan, we have Neo, who is a level 8, and he's facing a level 9 Mortar user in this battle here. So we're going to see how he deals with this deck. But right at the start here, he's going to try and use those Spirit Goblins to go in and get some quick damage done to that tower. But unfortunately, Red drops the cannon just in time. Now, Neo drops down his Electric Pump right here. But watch what Red does right here. He's going to go ahead and drop down the Inferno Tower right at the river, and watch Neo's reaction right here. I'm pretty sure at this point in the battle, he knew he was facing a Mortar deck, but watch what happens right here, guys. Neo drops down some Barbarians on the right-hand side, and Red is going to ignore that push, drop down the Mortar, and spend all of his Elixir setting up that Mortar. Now watch what happens here. Because he spent all of his Elixir, Neo is able to go in there and sneak in a Hog Rider, do some damage to that right-hand tower, as well as use the Minion Horde to take out that Mortar, as well as the Inferno Tower, because Red didn't have the Elixir available to use the arrows. So pretty good play by Neo there. He was able to go in and take out all of the defensive towers, as well as do some damage to that right-hand tower there. Now watch what happens here. Red uses the Inferno Tower and then uses the Rocket to take out Neo's Electric Pump way in the back there, as well as damage that tower, which was an interesting choice of how to drop those troops, because by the time he gets the Mortar down, that Inferno Tower is already at half health. He should have used the Rocket first, and then set up the Inferno Tower, and then the Mortar, because as you can see, that Inferno Tower is pretty much dead, and it didn't really get anything accomplished. So right here, Inferno Tower dies. Neo's able to go in with the Baby Dragon, the Hog Rider, as well as a Minion Horde. Now, Red chooses to use his own Minion Horde, trying to defend there, instead of using the arrows to take out the Minion Horde. Which was a bad choice there, because the Baby Dragon as well as Neo's Minion Horde took out Red's Minion Horde pretty quickly, allowing Neo to take out that tower really easily. And overall, Neo has a ton of offensive pressure right here. Red has no Elixir left to defend. His King Tower is down to 1800 health. He's going to go ahead and drop down an Electric Pump and start protecting that King Tower. But watch what happens here, guys. Neo's going to try and go in on the right-hand side to do some damage here. But unfortunately, that Minion Horde plus the towers will take out his push there. And so overall, didn't really get much accomplished there. But he kept the pressure on and prevented Red from setting up the Mortar. Now, one thing with the Mortar, guys, is once they lose a tower, it's very hard for them to come back and win the game. Because as you can see, as soon as they drop that Mortar down, you can drop all of your troops directly on all of their towers, which is what happened right there. Now, Neo's got a pretty strong push going on here with the Hog Rider as well as some Barbarians and a Baby Dragon. Red's going to try desperately to defend here, but unfortunately he just has no Elixir left after using those arrows as well as those towers. and Neil will be able to go in and get the 3-crown victory just before the battle ends. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see some more Clash Royale stuff, make sure to subscribe. I will be putting out videos every single day. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.